Carter's door swung open with a creak that echoed sharper than the drizzle around him. He walked slow, heavy boots hitting the pavement like a drumbeat. His hand hovered at his belt, but his knuckles chose a different weapon. 2 quick raps on the car roof. Not safety protocol. A statement. Marcus didn't flinch. His hands stayed on the wheel, fingers steady. Carter bent toward the glass, his flashlight beam crawling across Marcus's face. "You know why I stopped you?" Marcus's eyes shifted once, meeting the light. His voice came low. "No, officer, but I'm sure you'll tell me." Carter smirked, leaning closer. "Smart mouth. You one of those types? Think money buys? You manners?" The drizzle tapped against the hood, filling the silence between them. Marcus let it stretch, refusing to rescue the officer from his own words. Carter exhaled through his nose, impatient. "License. Registration. Let's not waste my night." Marcus moved slowly, deliberate, narrating each motion with his calm. "I'm reaching into my jacket now." Carter's flashlight never wavered. "Uh-huh. Keep those hands where I can see 'em." Their eyes locked through the glass. Carter expected nerves, maybe anger. Instead, he found stillness. Marcus finally spoke, almost as if to himself. "Funny. You knocked on my car like it already belonged to you." The line sat heavy. Carter's smirk faltered for a beat, his jaw tightening. The drizzle thickened. The night leaned in. Neither man raised his voice, but the balance had already begun to shift. The sound of Carter's knuckles on the roof still hung in the drizzle, like a warning no one asked for. He leaned down, flashlight sliding across the glass, resting on Marcus's calm hands. "Keep those right where they are," Carter said, voice flat but heavy. "They've been here," Marcus answered quietly. "Haven't moved," Carter smirked. "Funny how quick things change when a badge shows up." Marcus's jaw tightened, but he didn't look away. "Or maybe nothing's changed at all. Maybe you just came looking for something that isn't." "There!" The words slowed Carter for a second, though his smirk stayed fixed. He shined the light harder, as if brightness could find what patience couldn't. "You know what I see?" Carter leaned closer. "I see a man behind a wheel that doesn't fit him. Car like this? Doesn't line up. Not out here. Not at this hour." Marcus let the silence stretch. His voice broke it steady. "So, it's the car on trial, not me." Carter chuckled under his breath. "You think too much. Just give me your license and registration." "I will," Marcus said, measured. "But you're not tapping this car again." Carter blinked. "What was that?" "You heard me." Marcus's eyes stayed locked, not loud, not pleading. Just even. Once was enough. The drizzle filled the space between them, soft but relentless. Carter straightened, hand flexing near his belt, eyes narrowing. He'd expected fear, maybe an apology. Instead, he found stillness, the kind that unsettled more than raised voices ever could. For the first time that night, it wasn't Carter's tap that carried weight. It was the refusal to flinch. Carter leaned closer, flashlight grazing Marcus's face, like it was searching for guilt. His voice slipped out easy, almost conversational, the kind of cruelty that didn't break a sweat. "Figures," he muttered, tapping the window frame with a slow rhythm. "New car, wrong hands." Marcus inhaled once, slow enough that Carter could see his chest rise but not hear the breath. His tone matched the stillness of his hands. "Is that your official reason, officer?" The words didn't rise above normal volume, but they cut sharp. For a moment, the drizzle seemed louder than either of them. Carter tilted his head. "Careful with that mouth. Questions like that don't buy you safety." Marcus's eyes didn't move. Neither do assumptions. The smirk faltered, quick but noticeable like a light flickering. Carter's jaw tightened, though his voice tried to stay smooth. "See? This is what I mean. You people get a little something shiny, and suddenly you think you're untouchable." Silence stretched again. Marcus let it. The quiet wasn't weakness, it was pressure, and Carter felt it. "You done writing my story for me?" Marcus finally asked, calm but pointed. Carter shifted his weight, gripping the flashlight harder than before. The casualness was slipping, replaced by something less certain. "Don't get smart. That's not the tone I'm asking for." Marcus's reply came without pause. "Then maybe you should rethink the tone you're giving." The words landed differently, not loud, not defiant, but steady enough to draw a subtle shift in the air. Carter leaned back slightly, as if the window itself had pushed him out. The rain tapped against the roof again, softer now, but it was Carter's silence that told the story. Carter's glasses caught the faint streetlight, and in them, Marcus saw a warped version of himself, thinner, bent, less than whole. It wasn't reflection. It was judgment wrapped in glass. "You see yourself in there?" Carter asked, tilting his chin toward the mirror-like lenses. "Doesn't look like a man who owns what he's driving." Marcus didn't flinch. His eyes lingered on the distorted image, the one Carter believed in more than the truth. "I see a man you've already decided about," Marcus said evenly. Carter smirked, keeping his voice cool. "Decisions come easy when the picture's clear." The pause afterward hung heavier than the words. Marcus let it stretch, his silence deliberate. Not surrender, but a reminder. The officer was filling space, not him. Inside, memories scraped. Against the moment. His father whispering, "Don't answer unless you must." The weight of learning that sometimes living meant letting others talk themselves out. But that lesson had shifted. Marcus finally spoke, his tone steady. "Clear isn't the same as right." Carter leaned in, maybe too close this time, forcing Marcus to see himself doubled in the glass. "You think staying quiet makes you strong? Silence is just another word for weak." Marcus held the stare. "Depends who's listening. To me, it sounds like patience." The remark clipped at Carter's calm. His lips parted, but no words followed. For the first time, the reflection wasn't just Marcus bent. It was Carter's own face cracking, caught beside the image of the man he tried to diminish. Neither moved. The night pressed in. Then Marcus lowered his eyes, not in defeat, but in decision, letting the silence echo like a verdict. The reckoning had begun, and Carter felt it. The drizzle thickened, dripping from Carter's glasses. Marcus didn't move. He stood still, calm eyes fixed, the same reflection staring back. "You gonna answer me?" Carter's voice had an edge now, sharper than before. "Or you think you're too good for words?" Marcus breathed slow, steady. "I already answered. You didn't say a damn thing." Carter's laugh was thin, forced. "Silence don't mean strength. It means you got nothing to stand on." But Marcus didn't break. His gaze stayed locked, quiet as stone. The silence pressed harder than any insult. Inside, Carter felt it. Authority slipping, like water running through fists. The badge had always been enough. Not tonight. "Look at you," Carter muttered, stepping closer. "Just standing there, like you're judging me." "I don't need to," Marcus replied. "You're doing it yourself." The words were soft, nearly swallowed by the rain, but they cut deeper than shouting ever could. Carter's jaw worked, his smirk twisting, searching for control that wasn't returning. He lifted a hand, then hesitated, fingers curling before falling back. The stage had shifted, though he hadn't planned on moving. Marcus didn't gloat. He didn't smile. He simply waited, steady in the storm. The officer tried to fill the silence again. "You think staying calm makes you better than me, huh?" Marcus's eyes never wavered. "No, it just makes me free." That sentence landed heavier than any weapon. Carter stepped back, though he wouldn't admit why. His breathing quickened. The rain pounded louder, masking the tremor he couldn't hide. Stillness had won, and Carter, for the first time in years, felt small inside his own uniform. "Step out of the car." Carter's tone cut through the rain, heavy, demanding. Marcus didn't flinch. His hand rested calmly on the wheel, eyes steady on Carter. For a beat, the drizzle seemed louder than the command. "You deaf?" Carter barked, shifting his stance. His fingers hovered near his belt, not quite touching, but close enough for the threat to hang in the air. I said, out. Marcus's chest rose with a single deep inhale. He let the silence stretch, every second pressing against Carter's impatience. Finally, he said, "What for?" The question landed softer than Carter expected, but it carried weight. He blinked, jaw tightening. "Because I told you to. That's why." "That's not a reason," Marcus replied, voice steady, unbroken. Carter's smirk faltered. "Man, don't play smart with me. You think rules bend for you? Step out, now." Another pause. The rain tapped against the roof, steady, measured. Marcus's rhythm, not Carter's. Slowly, deliberately, Marcus opened the door. No rush, no fear. He stepped out as if the act was his choice, not an order. Carter straightened, mistaking the movement for surrender. "That's better," he muttered, trying to recover the ground he felt slipping, but Marcus's silence carried its own authority. His composure stripped Carter's command of power, reducing it to noise. For the first time, Carter's voice wavered. "Stand right there. Don't move." Marcus stood exactly as he was, calm, unshaken, his presence louder than any refusal. The officer clung to his authority like a fraying rope, not realizing the ground beneath him had already shifted. The rain kept falling, but only one man looked drenched. Carter's flashlight trembled slightly as it caught the object. Marcus slid from his coat. "License and registration," Carter muttered, already smirking, already waiting. Marcus said nothing. He let the light find the badge, gold, polished, bold lettering sharp against the drizzle. Head of Internal Affairs. Carter blinked. His mouth opened, but nothing came out. Marcus's voice was calm, even quieter than before. "Is this what you wanted to see?" The officer's jaw twitched. That's not—" He stopped himself, the words folding before they left. Marcus tilted his head, steady. "You've been talking all night. Now you've got nothing?" The silence pressed harder than any shout. Carter's hand slid away from his belt, almost instinctive, like a reflex to retreat. "You should have said something earlier," Carter forced out, his tone brittle. "I did," Marcus answered, voice low, deliberate. "You just didn't hear it." The rain thickened, tracing down both their faces, though only one looked cornered. Carter shifted his weight, eyes darting as if the night itself had turned against him. The badge glared back, authority stripped from his uniform, mirrored in a higher order he could not command. Marcus's stillness became unbearable. He didn't move closer, didn't raise his voice. He simply let the silence hollow Carter out. Finally, Carter muttered, "This changes nothing." But the crack in his tone betrayed him. Marcus's gaze held firm. "It changes everything." For the first time, Carter lowered his eyes, the flashlight beam drifting from Marcus's hand to the ground where the rain swallowed it whole. The game had ended, and it was never his. Marcus didn't move. He didn't blink. The badge rested. In his hand, a weight Carter couldn't ignore. "You—" Carter swallowed, his voice cracking. "You're bluffing." Marcus's tone was steady, almost cold. "Bluffing doesn't come with a seal. You might want to choose your next words carefully." Carter's breath hitched. The rain seemed louder now, each drop hammering against the silence he couldn't escape. He darted a glance toward the dark street, but no backup appeared, no partner. To laugh this off. "You think that piece of metal changes what you are?" Carter's words stumbled, desperate. "It changes what you can't do anymore," Marcus replied. For a moment, neither spoke. Carter's flashlight beam shook, grazing Marcus's face, then the badge, then the ground. His hand dropped, as if gravity had claimed the last of his bravado. "This isn't how it goes," Carter whispered, more to himself than to Marcus. "Men like you stay quiet. You bow your head." Marcus's voice sharpened, low but cutting. "Not tonight." The air shifted. Carter's confidence drained, replaced with the kind of silence he had once used as a weapon. But now it was turned against him, and it left him bare. Marcus finally closed his coat, tucking the badge. away with deliberate calm. His eyes didn't leave Carter's. "You've hidden behind silence your whole career," he said. "But this silence? It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to me." Carter's lips trembled. He opened his mouth, then shut it again. Nothing came. The street lamp flickered above them, casting both men in a pale glow. And for the first time, Carter looked smaller. Just a man, stripped of the power he thought eternal.